Welcome back to my Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on on our lovely little island of Fawnhollow today? Do you hear that like weird voice crack I just did? I don't know how I did that. It's like a weird squeak in my voice. Maybe only I heard that. But yeah, oh sorry, just slammed my controller. What have I been up to today? Not much, only except I recorded the next series that's coming out after Little Nightmares, which all recording for is done. I believe a finale, the final episode of that's coming out next week, maybe? I can't remember. But if you don't know, the Talos Principle is the one that's following on from that. Hello everyone, we'll get into that in a bit. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 5:22 PM on Thursday, August 12th, 2021. Nothing to really speak of today, so we'll go about usual business. Yeah, the Talos Principle one's the one that's coming off after that. Lots of people have recommended it to me from a comment after a witness, so I started playing that today. And it's cool. First two episodes, you know, is a bit of an introduction, so obviously it's going to be a little bit easier than it is compared to me comparing to like later episodes of later puzzles and other games and that sort of thing. So obviously right now I find it kind of easy, but I'm interested in what's going on. There seems to be some sort of overarching lore, definitely. Is it just me, dear? Okay, so this might sound strange, but when we've seen this one. I'm sorry, Lily, we've definitely seen this one before. No new letters. Of course, Red is not going to be others for today because we just had him yesterday. Who is it? Who is it? It's Brittany. Sorry, that's a very random reference, and you might not understand it. Fossils, word, talk, fish. Okay, that's a bit of a weird combination. Yeah, it's cool, and I'm not going to delve too much into it because you'll see it for yourself. I haven't actually drawn the thumbnail up for it, but I'll be doing that this weekend, presumably, because it'll be, I assume, reasonably easy because it's not the most complicated thumbnail art in existence, from what I can see. But yeah, it's fun. The thing I want to talk about, well, not I want to talk about was the main thing I remember was like there's a lot of motion sickness like settings in the game which I don't usually get that motion sick from playing games, but because you know that I'm playing them to be recorded, a lot of people do get motion sick, so I turned off a huge. I don't know what you just said. I turned off a huge amount of the motion sickness and to like try and nullify the effects of it. So I increased like the field of view, I turned off view bobbing, I slowed down like my mouse speed a lot, as well as that sort of thing, just to make it hopefully a bit more tenable for people who get easily motion sick. I will say the frame rate in the first two episodes a little bit iffy because I didn't cap the frame rate, so that might be a problem, but hopefully it'll be fixed by the third ones. And I will say that after I played Talos Principle for an hour or so, oh hello, Claude's thinking, maybe he wants to move out or something. You're too short on barrels, never mind. What was I saying? Yeah, after playing it for about an hour or so, I didn't get fully on motion sick, but I started feeling like, ugh, I definitely could not play this for another half an hour like this. Something about it is sickening, not sickening, but very like disorientating to play. And I think it's a fact that there's a sprint button in the game which makes you like sprint at really rapid speeds, and I turned down the mouse speed, but I probably didn't turn it down quite enough. And since you're playing in first person view, and also there's a little bit of a weird jitter sometimes with the FPS, I think, but it's a bit hard to see. But and there's often a lot of like flickering artifacts in the game just by the nature of what's going on in the content. It all adds up, unfortunately, to make it a little bit motion sickening. So it's just a note to myself. Got to remember that next episode I'm going to increase like the field of view even more and turn down the speed even more, and probably not sprint anywhere, because the sprinting I think is probably what's making me. I'm not nauseous from it, but I'm just like, if I played this, I just knew that if I played it for another half hour I'd be like, I would be sick probably. It's actually very disorientating, which is weird because I don't get motion sickness that often. I do, like I'm not immune to it. Like I can't, like I'm not like one of those people who can just spin around in a circle for ages and just be like feel completely fine. It will be nauseating to it eventually, but I do think I have a mildly higher tolerance than some other people. I'm not meant to be disparaging. It's honestly something which is not very relevant. It just means I can ride more roller coasters and be a bit more fine with it a lot of the time. The only thing that really makes me feel truly nauseous is if I do something like high motion after eating food, in which case I'll just be like, I feel terrible. But yeah, I don't often get motion sick in games, and this happened before in a game called Rafter we played, and Rafter apparently is a very notorious game for motion sickness, and I don't think I turned off like any of the settings to mitigate the effects of motion sickness, but you know, if you don't know the game Raft, you're literally on a raft and like out in the ocean, so of course it'd be kind of like sickening as your view sort of goes like whoa, whoa, whoa. And it made me think about that, and it made me think about the fact that Minecraft also had like this, you used to have a sort of bit of a sway as you walked to sort of simulate the movement, and a lot of people used to find that really motion sick inducing sickening, I suppose. And I never really found it, so I found it interesting how Talos Principle did it. I think it's something weird about the sharpness of the graphics as well. Not sharpness like wow, sharp, this is on point, because it does kind of look like a like, I don't mean to say it in a disparaging way, because it's not meant to be, because it is quite an old game from what I remember, and it's probably got quite a small team working on it. But you know, it's not like AAA titles of graphics quality. Is it something about the graphic style of it makes me feel a bit strange while I'm playing it, but I think it might be just because I'm whipping back and forth too quickly, or something, or I'm sprinting everywhere, and you know, maybe I didn't feel it that way because in Witness you are kind of like locked to quite a slow speed, but in Talos Principle you can just sprint everywhere incredibly fast. Let's put some stuff away, not that way, we need to donate that. Why did I walk in here? Because we need to make another axe, that's probably why I'm in here. Yeah, so motion sickness is not a very common thing. I do get sickness sometimes. I used to get like really like travel sick, like car sick and that sort of thing on long journeys, and I can never figure out why. And it's because when I was used to be in these car journeys, I always used to either read or I used to like play something on a portable console or something like that, like a DS. I don't know why I phrase it so weirdly. But that often meant I was like looking down at things for a long time, and it turns out that's what makes you motion sick. Well, that is a contributing factor to what makes you motion sick, is the disconnect between what you see and what your brain thinks you're doing. So the fact that I was looking down all the time, at like the floor of my car or looking down, meant that I couldn't see like the cars passing by, out my periphery or in the window and that sort of thing. So my body and its inner area was just like, we are lurching forward at like 60 miles per hour on a motorway, while me personally, from my eyes, was like, hey, we are absolutely stationary. And then of course that's how nausea comes to be a lot, especially in like cars and that sort of thing. It was like that, and it was just like what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and your body's like, okay, so we think we're traveling at like 50 miles per hour, but we also think we're not moving at all. What could be going on? Okay, we must have ingested something which is making us hallucinate or something like that, and thus your body tries to make you throw up to rid yourself of whatever toxin. It's a fair assumption in a lot of cases. If you are being extremely nauseated and you're like hallucinating things, something like you got some weird disconnect between your senses, it would make sense that maybe you've ingested something like not good for you, like poisonous or that thing, so it makes sense for your body to throw up. Except I'm just like, I wish you could overwrite that setting in your brain and just be like, oh, I'm just in a car, brain. Instead the brain is just like, oh, what? So if you suffer from the same sort of issues, and you are also like me, you used to like read or used to like play games or look at your phone while in the car, try this helpful tip where instead of looking down at your phone, what you do is you lift your book or phone up. It's very awkward, I must say, to lift it up, but you need to make sure that you can see the road and the passing scenery in your periphery vision out of a window at all times. Otherwise, you know, that way your brain will see the periphery moving and be like, ah, okay, we are actually moving at 50 miles per hour, we're not sick. And you can continue enjoying whatever media property that you have. So that's what I used to do. I used to just like lean against my window and like hold my phone or hold my DS or that sort of thing, and then I'm not going to say it cured me, because it didn't cure me per se, but it certainly helped alleviate the uneasy, queasy feeling. Because I have a very distinct memory. We went to, so it was it's not going to be like super gross, but we were, it was with me and some family friends, and we were going to, I think we were actually going to watch a Dragon Boat Festival. I can't actually remember, but I was playing on my DS the entire time. I was playing some Mario Kart on my DS. For some reason I remember, because I remember seeing, I chose Peach, and I was racing down like in a tunnel in the game or something, and I was like, oh, I'm starting to feel a bit queasy, and then we had like a pit stop, and then I like got out and was like, I was going to be sick or something, but luckily we had like plastic bags or something in the car, so you know, we could use that and then disposed of it promptly, rather than just making a mess inside the car, which I probably done when I was young. I don't really have much memory. Hello Raymond, you're here. Let's chat, I suppose. Who's your number one draft pick? You or Lily? Maybe I shouldn't answer that. It depends what we're doing, I suppose. But everyone knows Lily is top tier for me. But yeah, motion sickness is of the nauseating thing, and yeah, it was weird because I don't get nauseated by riding things like roller coasters or anything like that. Which is part of the reason why I think I can enjoy them so much more than other people, is the fact that I don't feel sick when I'm riding them. It was a thing I had a conversation, I can't remember who I had a conversation with, maybe it was Ali or something. But he says when he doesn't like roller coasters because he feels ill when he rides them. And I'm like, huh, really? Because I can't remember when we first had this conversation, it must have been ages ago. I was like, really? Like, it didn't really cross my mind that that was even a thing which could happen. Like, I knew people would sometimes be sick after riding on roller coasters, but I thought that only applied to ones which make you dizzy, things that like spin around. I didn't realise it applied to like your normal like rail roller coasters as well. And I was like, huh, that's surprising because I don't feel that way. I just feel like it feels like thrilling to me. Like, and people have described it like you feel it like in your stomach, and I do feel things in my stomach, but it doesn't feel nauseous. It feels like exhilarating, weirdly. I don't know exactly how that comes to be. I don't know what's wrong with my body. Maybe my eyes are crossed strangely, but I'm quite thankful for it because it means I can enjoy roller coasters all I want, and they're very fun for me. But yeah, even the ones which make you super dizzy and that sort of thing, there's not many roller coasters which do that because that's just like a logistical nightmare. It's like, oh, you know what, let's make all our guests extremely dizzy so they all, you know, make a mess and we had to clean it up afterwards. Bad for business. But there have been some, like, I'm going to talk about UK, roller coasters because I don't really know any in USA and that sort of thing. But like in Fort Park, which is, I don't even know where Fort Park is. Fort Park, Alton Towers, Chessington Wild Adventures. Those are like the major three UK theme parks. Maybe not, let's see. Oh, I nearly just started playing a YouTube video. I forgot. It was a long story, but I basically switched to Firefox now instead of Google Chrome. What happened to my work of art? We already have a perfect painting? Are you kidding me? Okay, hold on. UK theme parks. There's Legoland as well now I think about it, but you know, no, who's counting out? Alton Towers, yeah, Chessington Wild Adventures, Fort Park, Legoland, top 4, right there. Drayton Manor, never heard of that one. I'm just going in here just to check them. Some things I have heard of. Anyway, Fort Park is one I've been to a reasonable amount when I was younger. They have like rides on there. Oh, we do have a perfect painting. It's right there. Oh yeah, wait, the perfect painting was the only legitimate one, wasn't it? That's why I bought it. What was I saying? Yeah, they have like spinning rides, like if you're aware of it, Zodiac, which is basically like a Ferris wheel, but it's not really. It's like a super fast Ferris wheel, except for you're like in this mini sort of carriage and it spins you around. I know you can look these up. Zodiac, Vortex, I think that was one of them. I think maybe those are the only spinning ones. Oh, Samurai. It's not called Samurai. It's something like that. It's got a Japanese sounding name, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. We need to go deep sea diving and fishing, right? Yeah, something like that. It's not called. Is it called Samurai? It's something along those lines, but it's not Samurai. I'm pretty sure. And it's always closed, by the way, until it's not. They're things that spin you around, and I never felt like nauseous after riding them. Some people have, you know. You sometimes see it. or the aftermath. I'm sorry, this kind of squicks you out a bit. I'm not really fond of it either, but still. So it's weird. I always found it very weird that I got like travel sick, and you know, I can't remember where I read it. I think I read it on the internet. Maybe I read it in a book or something. But it was a helpful tip, and I don't know if it's maybe it's just a placebo thing. Maybe it's just like, oh, you know, that's not actually how it works, but now my brain thinks it works that way. It sort of overrides that function and doesn't get nauseated, and I'm like, perfect. You know, I don't care if it's placebo as long as it works, basically. Excuse me, let me drink some water. You know, stay hydrated, everyone. But yeah, motion sickness, not really too big a problem for me most of the time. So it was quite surprising that, like, I've been saying it as if I was like absolutely motion sick when playing Tennis Principle. I wasn't, but like I felt like it was starting to come on, and I feel like I have a good sort of sense of these sort of things. And because it was coming on, I was like, you know what? got to be a bit careful about it. I wasn't going to record anymore, but I definitely don't record anymore, and be a bit more cautious about it. So yeah, do let me know when those come out, if they make you motion sick or anything like that. That's not my intention, obviously. I'm not trying to make like malicious videos here or anything. I'm trying to do the exact opposite, if anything. But yeah. It's strange, because if making yourself dizzy wasn't so like nauseating, it would actually be a really fun thing to do. And you might say, what the heck do you mean by that? But I mean, like, you know, it's sort of like I don't know how to put this. If you think about it, you use being dizzy for all sorts of different like fun activities at like summer camps and that sort of thing, right? You know, you got like dizzy soccer, you got those like obstacle courses, dizzy things. You got the classic thing where you put your head to a stick and you had to like run around it like 20 times and you have like races, like relay races between people and that sort of thing. Like we did that in like a summer camp we had once back in year 6. Did I do well? I don't remember, to be honest. I like to think I probably did well, but maybe I didn't. Yeah, it's such like a classic thing for people to do. It's just a shame it makes people like, you know, throw up and nauseated. Like, think how much more fun like activities could be if you could do that, and it would just make people feel disorientated, but won't make people want to throw up. You know, people would just do it for fun, be like, oh, you know, why don't we spice things up? Why don't we just like all spin around really quickly 20 times? And everyone will be like, yeah, why not? Or be like, nah, it's a waste of time. But it won't be like, nah, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to throw up if I do that. It's now, oh yeah, that sounds like fun. That sounds like an interesting spice. You know, we'd probably have like Dizzy Olympics or something. Like, we'd probably have, if it didn't make you nauseous, we'd probably have a sport of the Olympics based around being dizzy or something, right? I mean, you might say, what about figure skating? All right then, smart Alec. I guess figure skating, but you know, I suppose they employ tactics. Well, not only figure skaters, any sport which do spins, try and incorporate tactics which reduce dizziness. Not all of them do, because you know, like diving, you don't need to have as, or maybe you do. I don't really know. I haven't really dove before, I suppose. But what I was thinking is like, especially with ballerinas and figure skaters, they keep what you're meant to do is you'll keep your head fixed on one place, and then your body rotates, and then you just do a quick whip around with your head every time you need to do like a pirouette or something, instead of spinning with your head the entire time. I don't know why that particularly helps, but apparently it does. I don't know if that maybe just helps with balance rather than just being sick or whatever. There's also another thing I remember. I can't remember who taught me this. I think it was a primary school teacher, but she taught me that if you spin around like 10 times one way, then spin around 10 times the other way, that helps alleviate a lot of the dizziness. You basically got to have like a equal and opposite spinning force, and I guess that kind of makes sense, because like what makes you dizzy is also, I swear like I've never seen like a stretch animation from Leif before. Makes you dizzy is a factor like the fluids in your inner ear or something, like spin around like crazy, and if you spin around it the other way, it sort of counteracts that angular momentum it's got going on, right? And it's when they're still, and when you're still is when you stop being dizzy, and is when it's moving and you're still, but you are dizzy. I suppose also the opposite is when it's moving and you're still. No, when it's still and you're moving. I don't know if that's possible though. That's what causes your dizziness, and then I suppose it makes sense, at least to me, that to counteract it, you could just be like, okay, spin the other way. Equal and opposite reactions. It's like that scientific experiment where you get like a load of thick corn syrup and you can put like blotches of ink in it and you spin it around, and you can like undo it by spinning around an equal amount in the opposite direction. That's a bit of a niche reference, I now realise, but maybe you know what I'm talking about, maybe you don't, who knows. But yeah, there we go. Hold on, to quote an infamous Barbie Christmas holiday lyric. And I'm spinning and spinning. I was going to sing more of it, but I couldn't remember it. This'll be the perfect Christmas. That's a song, by the way. Why did I do that? I don't know. This'll be the perfect Christmas. It's like, for one, I didn't know Barbie had younger sisters, but apparently she does. I think this one's called Stacey. I don't remember. She likes to go ice skating or something. You might ask, why have I watched this? I haven't watched this. I watched like the first 10 minutes of it for some reason, because one of my friends sent it to me. I thought, no context, and was like, just watch it, because he was watching it, and I watched it, and I was like, I'm not watching all of this. But for some reason, that song is living rent-free in my head, and it's now a meme in a circle. And I'm spinning and spinning. So yeah, I don't really know what point of you saying that was. Isn't that interesting though? Because I mean, like, it's very noticeable for ballerinas and figure skaters and other similar, like, rhythmic gymnastics, probably. maybe even artistic gymnastics. When we do spins up, they lock their head and that sort of thing. But I feel like it's, I mean, you don't see it in other sports, do you? Not saying that you need it, but like for things like diving, they're not told to like lock their head. They just have to spin, and I guess it's because they don't do nearly as many spins. They do about 3 to 5 or something in a short dive, depending on how tall up the springboard is. And I don't know, I'm not an expert in diving. Compared to like ballerinas who are like, oh, let's do like 50 of them, and there's one song or something for no apparent reason, but like just cause, I guess. What should we sell? What should we sell? Not sell. What? Oh wait, hold on. I need to pick up seashells. I just need to fish up more fish. I feel like I see no fish. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think there's like something you can buy which makes you less dizzy when you spin? Because, well, I believe scientifically dizziness is only caused by the disturbance between your inner ear fluids and your perceived motion for your senses. I wonder if you can get dizzy from another mismatch of senses. I mean, I guess you can get nauseous, right? What if like something you smell is significantly different from something you... I don't say hear, what does that mean? I don't know. I guess it can be disorientating, but something about the sense of balance is very much more disorientating. Something about the brain prioritizing that is weird. I wonder why. Something a biologist could probably... certain one, maybe not biologists. Let's not generalise, because I don't think a zoologist might be able to answer. Well, maybe they would. Something perhaps a... Who specialises in, like, balance? Dizziness? I don't know. I just wonder if there's something you could buy to just be like, oh, be less dizzy once you buy this thing. Sounds a bit strange, I suppose. That's craft things, I suppose. And I'm crafting and okay, we got no space. I guess we'll release... What's the cheapest thing we got? Probably this crucian carp. And probably... the snail, actually. Can we just release them like that? We need to release 3 of them, because we need to craft 3 things. Get out of here. Yes. What was I talking about? Was it important? I don't think it was important, but... I wonder if that's a thing that exists. I'm gonna search it. Gotta remember to... $5, there we go. Things to reduce dizziness? I don't know. Because this is just going to get up like people who feel like nauseously ill. Oh, dizziness, NHS apparently it's got a website. Oh, well, NHS, sorry, has a thing on it. Off balance, giddy, lightheaded. Lie down until it passes and get up slowly. Move slowly and carefully, get plenty of rest, drink fluids. Avoid coffee, cigarettes, alcohol and drugs. Do not bend down, do not get up. Do not do anything dangerous. Do not lie totally flat if you feel like things are spinning. Why don't we do things like spin around in the other direction? I guess maybe that's not a thing. And it's a thing my teacher tricked me into me believing. And they're like, oh, you know, they probably won't remember this for about like 20 years down the line. Well, take that, Mrs. I don't know. Don't even know which teacher is. 20 years down the line was a bit too far. That would be free. I guess that'd be like nursery school for me. That's a bit too far. Let's see. 10 simple ways to reduce dizziness. Ooh, thank you, clickbait websites. Vertigo. Check blood pressure. Take weight off your feet. How is checking blood pressure going to reduce it? Ask for a blood test? Well, I'm pretty, like, nauseous after coming off that, like, Ferris wheel. What can I do? Oh, just, you know, have a blood test, I guess. We're going to check the levels of blood sugar content. I don't know. Check your medicine? Pick up a banana? Mindfulness? Okay, this is clearly not like dizziness from spinning. How about we reduce spinning dizziness? Lie in a still, quiet, dark room. My word. Move your head slowly. Like your spin. No, I want to, like, if I spin. This is a difficult thing to search. Maybe there's a Wikipedia article on it. Wikipedia spinning dizziness. Not vertigo. I mean, yes, vertigo, technically, but that's not really what I want. Horizontal nystagmus is a sign that may accompany vertigo. And their eyes are basically sort of like slowly drifting and flickering. That's really weird. Dizziness affects approximately 20 to 40% of people at some point in time. Are you telling me 60 to 80% of people don't ever feel dizzy in their life? What? That's crazy. Let's keep 2 of these, probably. That's actually unbelievable. Is that true? That can't be true. That must be false. I almost refuse to believe it. Is it possible? Human condition. Human never gets dizzy. Is there like a thing that can happen in your body such that you never feel dizziness? Clearly, I don't know what to search for because I'm just getting a load of weird things over and over again. So let's just ignore that. It was 1 seashell off. Let's get some gift wrap so we can actually do those things tomorrow. Give a thing to Apollo tomorrow. Excuse me. And then, I don't know, spinning and spinning. And I'm spinning and spinning. I don't really have anything to add to that, I suppose. Just that I don't normally get all that dizzy. I mean, I guess I haven't ridden like a ride which is and purposely there to make yourself be dizzy, right? Maybe that's something like you see in like a fairground, a carnival, something like that. I don't know. Perhaps I'd get super dizzy from that sort of thing. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. Who's to say? It's all very not really up in the air, but I mean, getting dizzy, despite what I'm saying before, it's not fun. Like, it's I don't know how to phrase this. It is fun, but it isn't fun. Like, you get me? Like, actually getting dizzy, the nauseating part, not fun. But the disorientating part, where it's like, oh, and you can't walk straight without like the sickly feeling, super fun. I don't know if that's controversial or not. If it is controversial, maybe I'm not explaining myself properly. But the disorientating effect of not being able to walk and losing sense of your motor control for a temporary amount of time is fun. The nauseating effect of feeling ill and feeling like you're going to upturn your stomach, not fun. You get me? So if only I was like, I wonder if you can take like a medicine or something. But I would just be like, you know, take this and you will no longer get dizzy. You know, I mean, modern medicine, pretty good. I don't know if it's that good. You would have to have like something in your inner ear to stop it like moving a liquid. I wonder what happens if you have no liquid in your inner ear. Do you just not like know how to balance at that point? I don't know. We're actually nearing on 200,000 Nigma points, which is mildly scary if you think about it. Because and you might say, why is that scary? Isn't that good? Yeah, well, yes, it's good, but it's also kind of scary because it shows that we've had basically nothing to do with Animal Crossing for us long enough to basically accrue this many Nigma points. You might say, you do have stuff to do. You could customize your island. You're not wrong. I just don't know what to do for customization wise, so thus I've been stagnating on it for ages. That's why like this left half of my island, it's so empty. There's nothing here. There's nothing I can really, well, there's stuff I can put down, but there's not enough stuff I can put down, so I just haven't. I might call it laziness, and you know, you'd be kind of right, because I just can't be bothered anymore. Past the decorating phase. We've already done enough decorations, but now we're just sort of slowly adding the decorations as we see fit. We should probably remove that Christmas wreath, huh? Amusingly, now it's closer to next Christmas than it is to last Christmas, so maybe now we just sort of keep it then. We're always in style. Rainbow Dash always dresses in style. Like that. There's an old school My Little Pony reference for you there. But yeah, no, round off this episode here, and I'm going to get back to doing some programming. Maybe I'll play some Binding of Isaac. I've basically decided to myself now, I'm going to play Tainted Jacob until I can get some completion marks of him. It's not going well. It's not going well, by the way. But yeah, I guess we'll round this episode off here in spinning fashion. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Dear Darling Discord and follow me on Twitter down below. I hope we can see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye for now. Get out of it, mosquito. I don't want you.